Welcome to the Stoney Love Show, where each show is inspirational, delightful, encouraging, and amazing as you are. Live from Atlanta, Georgia on 108 Praise Radio and Clark TV Network, here's your host, Stoney Love. Welcome to the
Good morning and welcome to the Stoney Love Morning Show. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. And all we can do is just breathe and just be thankful. That's the only thing I know today is to be thankful. And as we said in our posting last night, we were going to have the mother-daughter duo. And I don't know, it wasn't a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. Both of our guests today are mother-daughter duos. We have Denise Richardson Gordon and Tina Gordon joining us via satellite this morning. And then later on, we have Miss Melanie and Monet Jones live in the studio. So how about that? How do we make that happen? And I'm going to begin with a quote before I introduce the Gordons. A mother is a daughter's best friend. So I had to go there. So good morning, Denise Gordon and Tina Gordon. How are you this morning?
Wonderful. Happy to be here. Happy to be with my mother as always, because she is indeed my best friend. So
oh, your mother is so beautiful. Both of you are.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Do you guys mind if I call you Denise and Tina? Is that okay?
Works for me. Please do.
Okay, y'all can call me Stoney. And so I just want to say thank you so much for getting up early this morning and coming on the show. It means a lot to me. I looked over, one thing that impressed me the most that I did see was your Martin Luther King tribute, your play. I saw a little intro of that. Could you guys tell me a little bit about yourself and especially about that?
Awesome. Take it away. Go ahead, Queen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you, Stoney, for having us on the show this morning. We are really blessed and honored. My name is Denise Richardson Gordon. A lot of names there. I am from New Hampshire. I'm going to get that right out there straight because a lot of people don't know we're up here in New Hampshire. But we're up here in New Hampshire and we're doing things. As you said before, my daughter is my best friend. Tina and I wrote a play together. Actually, it was a children's play. I work at the Untitled Theater up in Maine, and I came across a children's play called We Are the Dream. And it was a little 20-minute play, but I loved it. Living up here in New Hampshire, we don't have a lot of, let's be politically correct, diversity up here in New Hampshire, so I was unable to do this play. But what I really liked about the play is that it focused on the fact that he was a reverend first. Before he was an activist, that he was a minister, and he was a minister of the gospel. So I started rewriting the play. I called up my daughter and I said, I just need one song for this play, just one song. That would be amazing. And 12 songs later, because after the one song, I was like, that was great. Now we need 2, now we need 3, now we need 5, now we need a dozen. So I was very blessed that my daughter did the music for the play. We did a reading in New York about 7 years ago, and we have been pursuing and building this play ever since. The play is basically a story about a group of students that are going to see Reverend King at the Lorraine Hotel. And when he gets there, that's the day that he is murdered. And it's really a play about their experiences. I was born in 1955, so in 1968, I was 12 going on 13. I grew up in a predominantly white community. My family lived in Cambridge and in Boston, but we lived in Billerica, Massachusetts, so the whole movement was different for me, being one of two black families in the whole town. I was very militant, but I really leaned more towards the side of Reverend King. Um, so that's where the story kind of developed. It's a story, yes, it's adapted from this play, but it's really a story about how I viewed the movement at that time. And when I did the play, my daughter was like, "Oh, Mom, you're so passionate about it. You know how it feels to be there." She said, "Wouldn't it be great if we could have the audience have that feeling?" So with that, we increased the play to be a 3-medium play. So it will be live, it'll be film, and we're doing hologram. And this is the first time that this has ever been done in the theater, period. So we're really excited because the whole purpose of me writing this play is that we remember his name, but we forgot the message.
Oh, yes.
Reverend King did not die for us to name a street after him or get a holiday after him or a building. I look at it now from 1968 to where we are today. We not only have changed, but we have forgotten his message, and we glorify him. I remember during those days, he was a communist. He was a terrorist. He was not this wonderful person that they tried to portray in history. Yeah. And he struggled. And I really believe that his message was, we live here in America trying to accomplish the American dream. And Reverend King lived his purpose, not his dream. And even though his purpose became his dream, there's a difference. See, because when we live our dream, if I want to live my dream, then that's going to only really fulfill me. I might help other people if I become famous or rich. I might do others. But my dream always, to me, is a selfish goal. A purpose, on the other hand, is always serving others. And if we lived our purpose, it takes more than hard work and good luck. It takes actual sacrifice. And Reverend King knew that sacrifice. And he knew that sacrifice from the beginning. So we are the dream is exactly that. We are the dream.
Right.
He presented the dream to us, but we are the dream, and that's what we forgot. We need to stand up for what's right because it's right, not because it's politically correct or that's the group to go with. We need to know what we're standing up for and why we're standing up for it. Reverend King stood up, for the gospel and the good news. We forget that he was fighting for poor people, not just black people, because poor people come in all colors.
That's true.
So when we cloud up the issue, then we lose the point. Mm-hmm. So we remember his name, but we certainly have forgotten his message. Yeah. So I don't think that Dr. King would be glad or like, wow, look where we've come so far because they've named a street after me. Right. But we've lost the whole message. And so this play is to deliver that message, and to deliver that message to the young and to the old. Everyone has to hear this message, because that's the only thing that I believe that will change the minds and the hearts of people today.
Will you be bringing the play here to Atlanta?
Oh my goodness, yes. We have actually done the filming down in Atlanta. The woman who's choreographing for us is Tamara Whitehead. Mm-hmm. She is doing, yes, and she is amazing. Okay. And we are hoping to come back to Atlanta, and we want to present this and open this in Atlanta because that's the appropriate place to do it.
Oh, yes. I just recently had a chance to interview Dr. Bernice A. King. And when I saw this segment of what you did, when I received it the other day, I was just like, she would be in awe to see this because it was so profound. I thought it was. And I'm sure that she gets things all the time. And I see things too all the time about the message of Dr. King, but this here was very moving to me. I did understand exactly what the message that you were portraying through the insert that I received, and so I'm to interview her again in September, and I'm definitely going to show her I'm going to mention you guys. I can't. I mean, I hope that's okay. But I definitely would love to show her this by all means and get her thoughts on that. So, I mean, his movement, as you said, his purpose, he lived his purpose and we are his dream. That is the most profound thing that I've ever heard anyone say because when he said it, he says, I have a dream. And he didn't say he was or he was the dream. He said, I have. And that we all, and that has not happened yet. But it is still in the making. And it may happen another 100 years from now. We may not ever be able to see it, but it will go down. And the history and the generations to come will continue to know. So it's a blessing that we have people such as yourself who are writing and documenting these historical events and keeping the dream alive because some people has seemed to have forgotten.
Yes. And we would be honored because it's a message of their family.
Yes.
So we would be honored if just to get their blessing on it.
Oh yes.
Because it is that important to me. And I tell people in my writing, my saying is no one's bigger than Jesus.
Mm-mm.
Me and my daughter have prayed over this and worked over this, and I believe that this is my purpose. That this play is my purpose to help continue bringing that dream alive. We are doing workshops in schools.
Okay.
And two things that I always say, as Black people, we know the struggle, we know the message. This is also a play that is written so that white people get the message.
Exactly.
Sometimes, we're just preaching to the choir. And I purposely wrote it with scenes and music that will hit the hearts of the people who really need to change, who really need to see what's going on. I always say it'd be great, I'd love this to be a Hamilton and go around the world, but in those type of venues, sometimes the people who need to hear it don't get to hear it. Part of our mission and part of this purpose is that we also get this out to homeless shelters, to prisons, to boys and girls clubs, to schools that can't afford it, to people who can't afford it.
Right.
And I only use Hamilton as an example because I worked Hamilton behind stage, not on stage. And I took my granddaughter to see it for her graduation. And tickets at discount for myself was $300 a ticket. Who can afford that?
Wow.
For the people who need to hear the message, who can afford that?
Right.
And then people, oh, well, it was on Disney Plus. Well, what if I don't have a TV? I can't afford Disney Plus.
That's true.
So how do we get the message out to the people who need to hear the message? Because it's not a pretty play. It has beautiful songs and has a great message, but it's a message. It's not entertainment.
Right.
So how do we deliver the message? And that's the most important thing to me is how do we get this message, like Reverend King did, around the world, to make people stop and think and say, if I am the dream, then what do I have to do to live my purpose? How do I find my purpose?
Well, I just love it. I really do. And I want to say congratulations in advance on your play. And so I'll be looking forward to it when you guys come to Atlanta. And I have a question about Tina. What does Tina do to help you with your plays and all of the things that you do in the community?
Oh, I do everything else. What else do I do? Besides write the music, I help with the grants, the website, the write-ups, the computer technical stuff, just new ideas and helping with connecting with people like Tangi and things of that nature. I'm here in New York, so when she first wrote the play in New Hampshire, I was like, yeah, so how about we try it at least in New York where we know there's some diversity. And then I actually told her before we went to Atlanta, just need to do this in Atlanta, even before New York. And she was like, I'm not going all the way to Atlanta to do no show. And I'm like, God's telling me Atlanta. I don't know, but
Yeah.
Atlanta. So like 5 years later, we ended up in Atlanta and
Wow.
loved it. I love just the history there, the Southern hospitality from just everybody, the men, the women. Like Atlanta's. I love it. I
Yes.
love
Well,
it.
I can't wait till you guys
Um,
come back.
for sure, for sure. Me either. October's hopefully right around the corner. We come
Oh,
there for a
really?
visit, start knocking some stuff out.
Okay.
But yeah, me and my mom work together not only on this project, but probably every idea we come up with, and we always have a new idea. But again, like you started in the beginning, she is my best
She's your
friend,
best
so
friend.
we usually are hand in hand when it comes to things that are going on. But this play for me has definitely changed my outlook as far as life, as far as being an activist in the community, a voice,
Yes.
and using my platforms to just advocate for people and just be a better mother, especially raising black men in this world. And just understanding, like my mother said, a lot of us have forgotten his message. And probably up until this play, I didn't know as much as I know now about Reverend King. The fact that he had a stutter, he dealt with depression, like just regular issues that so many of us we have defined ourselves and held ourselves back because
Yes.
society has told us we're not good enough because of certain weaknesses or, that they say we have. But Dr. King pushed through all those things and he didn't let any of that define him, and he was able to move the masses. So for me, the message is not only about love and peace and how we can, better ourselves and help our neighbor, but just we are not defined by our weaknesses and what society labels us as. Like my mother said, when she was growing up, he was a communist, all the negative things.
Right.
And that's, as black people, we live with every day as oppressed people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And a lot of us will hold on to the labels that society has put on us. And they have killed most of the leaders that showed us that we are more than what they define us as. So to remember who we are is empowering. So just to be able
Wow.
to give that same empowerment. And I just thank God for the gifts and the abilities to even have a song that she would say, oh yeah, write more music, write more music. And for other people to be moved by the music, because I'm not somebody that went to school for music. It's just something I really love to do. And I've
Right.
always been able to express myself through music since I lost my father to police brutality. The only way I've ever been able to express myself since I was 8 years old is through my writing. But again, growing up, I'm dyslexic. I was never really good in school, so I didn't think I was ever going to be somebody people took seriously or wanted to show anything to, because the world doesn't train you to show yourself off, especially when so many people are telling you you're weak in so many areas.
Well, I
So
noticed that all the
to be
kids
in a
that weren't
different
good in
place was a
school
wonderful.
are very successful
Excuse me?
today. I noticed that all the kids that weren't good in school, that didn't pay attention, that had dyslexia, ADHD, and all of those labels, are very good people today and are very successful, and some are millionaires. So I don't believe in the labels and all of that stuff, because some of us just pick up things at a different speed. And so at that time when we're young, people go, oh, well, he kind of slow. Something wrong with him. But, he may be slow in math at that point. And he's 21, he's a banker. And you're like, wait a minute,
Right.
you couldn't even count in the second grade. And so,
True,
but
true.
it's just, as you mature, your mind and your brain, everything starts to come together. And for some people, it all begins to go, aha, it clicks. So I don't think anybody is have any special needs. I just think we all learn at a different pace.
That part.
Yeah. And so all these doctors who have degrees, who are labeling people and making these special education classes and all of this other stuff, they just need a class that the teacher don't talk so fast. That's all.
Exactly. Yeah, we all learn differently.
That's
Exactly.
all.
I homeschool my oldest because his learning style is totally
It's
different,
totally
and
different. He may
he
need
loves
music
coding,
to
and I'm like,
learn.
okay, code away. Like,
It doesn't mean anything's
I'm
wrong with
lost.
him.
Nothing's wrong. Like, he
Exactly.
doesn't talk. He's an introverted. He doesn't really like people. And now we found out that people weren't really that nice. So what does he have to say?
Right. And then they'll say, oh, well, he's probably going to be a killer one day. You know, they come up with all of these things to label us, to be like, oh my God, is that really what's wrong with me? I'm depressed or I'm this. No, you're not. You're just special in your own way. And that's the way God created you. And so you
Amen.
must start to embrace that as a child and learn to accept that. I teach that to my grandchildren. Accept who you are. No matter what other people say, you are who you are. I love you love you, and guess what? We don't care what nobody else say.
Exactly.
So if you walk a little slow, it's all right. You'll catch up.
Exactly.
Enjoy the view. You just enjoying God's beautiful creation. Walk slow, baby. Enjoy that step.
Yes. Now, so do you guys have any other projects that you're working on together right now? I know I shouldn't have asked that question, right?
Well,
Wow.
Tina has written a children's book that really addresses exactly what you were talking about.
Oh,
Um, Accepting yourself as yourself. Michael and Ralph, I'm very proud of her with that. Tina is a writer, and Tina has continued. She's got an action book coming out about a black superhero, herself, of course. I homeschooled. Yeah, I homeschooled Tina, so homeschooling I'm a big advocate of, because she said something to me in the third grade when the last year in public school. She said, "Mom, you taught me everything I know. Can't you
wow.
teach me third grade?" And I, as a parent, sometimes we're like, "Oh no, we're not the experts. Oh, I can't do it." But in her words, when she said that, she was right. I taught her how to put on her clothes. I taught her how to tie her shoes. I taught her how to talk. All those beginning things that we as parents teach our kids, which means we know our children's learning styles.
We do.
And we don't give ourselves enough credit for knowing who our children are and how they learn.
Mm-hmm.
And because the school system does not ask us any questions, because we're just the parents, our children go into an environment that is unhealthy. Simply because people are unaware of who your child is. My projects that I'm working on is I am working on workshopping the play, because, like I said, my part of my purpose is to go into schools, actually have the play in a film style, and then we talk about it, to go beyond just the pretty pictures, go beyond that feeling. And really, we're looking at educating children from 7 to high school, because that's your age. That's
Oh,
the age where you decide. That's the age. And I always say, I don't say to kids, what do you want to be in life? I ask you, who do you want to be? Because what you're going to be is just simply a job to make money. That's how you're going to survive. But who you're going to be is who you're going to be judged at in the end.
that's
Who
right.
you're going to be is going to make a difference on what you're going to be. I can be a janitor, but if I am a person that's honest, hardworking, care about other people, kind and joyful, I'll be that best janitor ever. So I
Right.
don't
The
want to be
character.
labeled by what, we talk
Right.
about labels. Label is what causes segregation. Label is what causes separation. I am a human being. That's what I learned from Reverend King, that we are part of one race. It's called the human race. Don't put me in a box. Don't label me. Don't put me over here and over there. We're all part of the same team, people. And if we don't play well together, the game is not pretty.
Amen.
Plain and simple.
Amen. I definitely
Yep.
agree.
That I have another book coming out. We're about to start filming our documentary. I have some music of my own that's separate from the play coming out. So there's a lot about to happen. I'm trying to save most of it for the new year, give people something fresh. But me and my mom are always going to be together on this play, whether we
Yay.
have other projects. But this play is probably like going to take us till we both old and then
I'm already old. I'm already old.
right.
It's all right, but you both are aging beautiful. You both are very beautiful. Tell everybody where they can find you on your platforms, so they can get, if they would like to get in touch with you, because I know you're gonna have extras for the movie and you're gonna need people for the play.
So we do have a website, wearethedream.com. You can send a
We
message
Are
to
the Dream, the musical.
the musical. Thank you for the correction. That's why my mother's here, y'all. The musical.com. For me, I know this is probably old school now. Facebook still, I'm on Facebook. Um, but yeah, that's probably the best for me. And then, Mom, what is yours? Like your email?
My email is Gordon Denise, and that's Gordon, because I am from Massachusetts. So Gordon, Denise, Denise, 14 at Yahoo. That's where I can be reached. And we have our website, which will show you the trailer and everything that it talks about Tina and myself. And that's We Are the Dream, the musical. We Are the Dream, the musical. And I say the musical because it was adapted from We Are the Dream, and I did keep that play to honor the woman that did it, because we always have to, we always have, God says, give credit where credit's due.
Amen.
uh,
Amen.
and I cannot take full, it was a play that was dropped in my hands, and God allowed me to embellish on it and make it into something that I am very proud of and very thankful.
And I'm
And
very
that was
proud of it
children.
too, and I can't wait to see it go even farther. I really am excited for you, and I know that it will. I do believe that.
And let everybody know there's talent in New Hampshire. See,
Okay.
because there's talent in black people in New Hampshire.
There's black
See,
people
'cause
in New Hampshire, y'all, and I think some
You
in
heard it
Oregon
here
too.
first. You heard
I
it
like,
here first.
no, because people sleep on our 1%, but you have to understand 1% is 100,000 of us up here. Okay,
Yeah, I've never been to
so
New Hampshire, but
nobody has. They don't even know where it is. People like
it's
Maine,
They
Massachusetts.
literally every time we tell people, they're like, "Oh, there's black people there." Like literally, that's the like.
yeah, I
Yes,
didn't
we're
even
here.
know that it was black people in Oregon when my son went there, and I was like, "Is it Little House on the Prairie?" Or like, I just didn't understand what was going on and why he wanted to go there.
I like
It's
to tell
pretty.
everybody. I like to tell everybody they put slaves everywhere in the United States, y'all. They put
I
slaves
see, but you
everywhere.
know what? We're free now. Some of us are.
Right.
Some of us are free, and some of us are still living in bondage. And I got one question for you, Tina. What was the best thing that your mama taught you?
The best thing my mother taught me:
Yeah.
don't
That,
be scared to be yourself.
yay! All right, that's the message, y'all. Do not be afraid to be who you are. And that was a message to Tina from her mother. So mothers are so important, and we want to thank you, Miss Gordon, for coming on today. You as well, Tina, and we will be following you. You guys have my information. I'll be in touch with you guys about your trailer. And we would like to promote it right here on Clark TV Network so that everybody can know that you're coming to Atlanta. How about that?
Yay! Thank
so
you so much. You're amazing. This
yeah,
is
so
Thank you.
we'll definitely be in touch with you. And after these messages, you guys will be right back with the other mother and daughter duo, Melanie and Monet Jones. Right after these messages. Bye, guys. Thank you so
bye.
much.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
The idea of Sunday dinner is the love and the memories you have with it. Hopefully we're doing something that will make the kids want to continue that tradition like our parents instilled in us.
Now sit down.
For us, Sunday dinner was knowing that, you know, your aunts were gonna be in the kitchen, y'all were gonna be outside, and then you're gonna race when they say dinner's ready, right? Like you're pushing each other out the way, right? But also a part of that was on Sunday, you didn't eat all day because you knew where you were getting later, right? Growing up, watching my grandfather, who was just like this stoic man, season and flip meat, these greasy hands, this smock, and everyone's looking at him, right, for whatever it was that was coming off the grill. You get a brisket going, that smoke gets to going, your 16-year-old shows up, right? Like he sits next to you, he's waiting for that piece of meat, right? So it pulls you, those smells pull you in. That's hot.
So Ma, as a kid, what was your favorite dish that was made?
Fried chicken.
Like, was it something about that, or?
Well, we only had fried chicken on Sundays. It wasn't always a regular thing because when you had like home fried chicken, somebody had to kill the chicken the day before.
I was about to say.
Everything was prepped on Saturday night because you have to remember we're going back now to a stove that was started up with wood or coal.
Right. I used to request for you to make yeast rolls because I was like, this is amazing and it's so flavorful.
So I do mine, like Grandma didn't have, she had the hand mixer that she whipped around and she would set it where the sun shined on it. Because so it always had to be made early enough that the sun could shine to raise up your rolls.
When we talk about the things that you grew up eating in the house, the one thing that I always loved was my mama's greens. And she took pride at making her son, her oldest boy, these greens. Well, then I met a woman. And fell in love with this woman. And it probably was due to some of those greens. And I think, I'm pretty sure the first thing I said when I took a bite, I think I looked you square in your face and I said, sincerely, these better than my mama greens.
The juices started to come out over here. I just want a couple of those.
Being able to set time aside for your family or your extended family is just hard to come by. And it gets harder the older you get. To be able to sit aside like a dedicated time to be able to say, hey, this is where we are, this is where we're gonna meet. Right. Bring everything that you have of yourself in this moment is great. And for us, the kids respond. It's something that they look forward to. We sing a made-up song called Who Won the Day? And sometimes you don't win the day. We got a 4-year-old who'll say, I didn't win my day, it was a rough day, this happened. But they know that this is a space that we are gonna share that. Put butter on your hands?
Give me his plate. Well, I'm standing.
If somebody had a challenging day or we know that something happened with someone, our table is where we discuss it, and we discuss it as a family. It gives people an opportunity to express themselves and their emotions and not feel like it's a bad thing. You started it trying to get more conversation at the table, and it really has opened that up.
Who win the day?
We win the day.
Who win the day?
We win the day.
Who win the day?
We win the day.
Penelope, how'd you win your day?
I made rolls with my family.
What else?
I was watching TV all night.
With thinking about what does Sunday dinner mean to me, as a parent, making the foods that your kids love is what I take pride in because that's what I saw.
Being able to get together is like almost a small vacation.
Even though you're around the same people all day long.
Even though you're around the same people all day long, you're with people, but you aren't focused on them.
Right.
And so the dinner table's been a place where we've been able to keep that sense of normalcy and where we just still have that focus on each other.
And amazing food.
And amazing food.
Greetings and welcome back to the Stoney Love Morning Show. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Once again, we're live. Don't y'all just like it when I come live? I be all slow and stuff. And then I have these beautiful, beautiful mother and daughter duo here today.
Hello.
When I tell you, I just had a mother and daughter duo on virtual.
Okay.
And then you guys.
Oh,
I'm like,
it's a duo day.
yeah, like I never had that in my whole career.
Wow.
On the same day.
Oh.
Oh, thank you, Lord.
Yes.
And you guys are so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes,
So are
very.
you. You
Thank
too.
you. So, and may I ask, how old are you, Monet?
I'm 17.
And you are Melanie?
I'm Melanie, yes.
Okay. You look, I think you was about 12 or 13. Jesus. Wow, your mom looks great too. So,
you,
yeah, I really thought you were a baby.
No, I'm 17.
Well, you're still a baby.
Yeah.
But and so, right off the bat, Mom, I know you guys have a lot of things you do. You guys were in that movie with Mr. Anthony Page, is that correct?
Not yet. We have something else that we're working with Anthony
with him?
on
Okay.
as well.
Okay,
Yes,
so
yes.
I know some things you cannot discuss.
Yes.
Well, let's
In
talk
this
about this here, what we
Okay.
can discuss. Unit
Yes.
3.
Yes.
Everybody, this is Monet's book that she partnered up with her mom
Yes.
and wrote about. Could you tell us a little bit about this?
Okay. Well, first of all, our company is Animation Creation. So Monet, we took, because she loves anime, the character is anime, so we took her name, Mo, so we named it Animation Creations. So she does more than books, and we also put it on merch as well. So Monet was drawing one day, and well, she drew a lot, but the character she drew didn't look like her. So I asked her, I said, Monet, if I came up with a story, will you draw some characters that look like you? So I came up with a story. We kind of went over the story together. She gave me some tips. And we came up with Unit 3, and that's how the book came about.
Oh.
And
And
it's a book
you
series.
were telling me previously that these were triplets.
Yes, these are triplets. It's want to tell them the name of the characters?
Yes, okay, so the one right there is Nova.
Nova.
The one in the middle is Altair, the brother, and then the one right there is Star.
Star, okay.
Yes.
Now, so do they all get along in the book, or are they out sibling rivalry, or?
They do get along, but they were actually separated. So.
Yes, so it's a story that it's a challenging story. I know it's funny. And so in the beginning, this is the first series, so the first book. So in the beginning, they're babies. So their mothers, they're going through something as babies. I try to share it without telling the story. My daughter says I share too much, but you have to get the book.
Yeah, you gotta get the book. You gotta get the book,
But
because
it-
Mama would give us all of the.
Yes.
You know what, guys? We're gonna have to take a break,
Okay.
and we'll be right back. I apologize after these messages.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah, you got to get your
all the equipment.
Rest
Welcome back, you guys. It's Stoney Love. I had to bring it inside. Little rain, like this, it's gonna rain on your head. And so that's all I was thinking about as I was sitting here. But I'm here with Melanie and Monet Jones, and they are the author and co-author of the book Unit 3. And so it talks about, I was just reading a little bit on the back of it. So is this like a mystery sort of novel for young adults?
Well, not mystery, but more so like, I guess, fantasy. Not fantasy, but I don't know. It's not like mystery. It's like action.
It's a fiction. It's a fiction action story.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So would you like for these characters to come live on animation?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, that's the goal. Yes.
That's the plan, huh?
Yes.
I like this. This is the first time ever I've seen a young African American writer to do animation.
Yes, and she's also the illustrator. She drew the characters. Yes, she's an artist illustrator. She's preparing to go to SCAD, so we're doing the paperwork.
Congratulations!
So hopefully one day produce her own movie or her own show.
Yeah.
So just we don't know.
You know who I was sitting here looking at you, and I was like, she reminded me of somebody. Y'all know I'm always looking at people and seeing who they look like, and you remind me of Moesha when she was young, Brandy. When she was on that show.
Yes.
That's what she remind me of, y'all. But you know, I just think it's wonderful for what you do. Have you had your book signing for this book yet?
We just recently hosted a fashion show networking event, which also had our book at the Apex Museum, and also our books are on display and consignment, and also some of Monet's art. She does jewelry as well at the Apex Museum downtown on Auburn Avenue.
Really?
So yes, we are definitely in the museum. So we're excited. So if you are in Atlanta, you can stop by and pick up a book. And also follow our journey at the museum as well. We have some other stuff upcoming, but we did host a fashion show because we have her art on merch as well, as you can see.
Okay, this is her?
Yes.
So these are the characters?
These are the characters, yes. So we have it on backpacks, notebooks, journeys. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, will these characters, will they ever talk about, even though they're fiction, real life stuff like bullying?
Yes. Mental health.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yes, definitely.
Things that young kids go through that they need somebody to talk to.
For sure.
So you'll be that voice through these characters to help them along the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that.
As you can see on the front, it says "Born Without Limits."
Yes.
So
what does that mean?
It's so many challenges that they're going to face, that even as babies. And like I said earlier, I don't want to share without. She always tell me I share too much. So Unit 3 is they were born in Unit 3 in the hospital, and then they are the triplets of a superhero. Their father was a superhero, so that is where they got their superpowers from. And so their mother is going to face some challenges when she gives birth to them, and they're going to go through this process of something.
Will they get superpowers?
They're going to get superpowers.
Yeah.
Yes, they each have superpowers, and just to share a little bit so people can. They're going to be separated at birth because their mother is going to pass. It's kind of sad in the beginning, but then it just challenges that the kids go through, and also positive moments, things where they're going to also be use their superpowers in helping the community, like their father did as well before he was abducted. So it's they're going to go through a lot.
Will there be a part 2 to this?
Oh yes, it's a series. Yeah, that's book 1.
Yeah.
I
it's going to be a series. So
and I haven't read fiction in a long time.
Yes.
But this kind of reminds me of one of those James Patterson's books where the kids kind of go off into, I can't remember the story, but I used to read a whole lot. But he kind of goes off into these fiction action.
Yes.
Kids got wings and they're flying.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I was reading it one day, and I was like, what in the world am I reading? And then they end up in this lab, and I'm like, no, this is not, because I like more of his killer stories.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of identify with that. But I don't know how I ended up with that book, but it ended up pretty good.
Yes, yeah.
And you wanted to know what happened to the kids.
Yeah.
So this kind of like
Yeah.
reminds me of that. Okay. So you're a James Patterson fan? Have you read any of his work?
I don't think I have.
Oh,
but
you
yeah.
should check him out.
Yeah.
We will.
Yeah, definitely. So are you going to, will you be ultimately having a book signing at any point?
Yes, definitely.
You will?
Yeah.
Now, if I wanted to purchase this book, I have to go on your website and get it? Or
Yes.
is it on Amazon?
Yeah, it's also on Amazon. Yeah.
Yes, it's on
Okay.
Amazon, and it's also on, and if you go to our Instagram on Animation Creations,
yes.
and the link is in the bio, they could purchase the book, and also the link to the merch as well.
Oh wow, this is
everything is
beautiful.
Thank you.
I really love this.
Thank you.
So you do fashion, Mom? I mean,
I don't. I just, I just finding outlets to put her art on, and just being creative. We both.
I like that
our whole-
shirt. That's
Thank
really
you.
nice.
I made.
You made that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
DIY.
beautiful.
Yes. So our whole family, even her sisters, are also. One is my oldest is a model and a singer, and an actress. She's been since we're from Florida, and we've been here
Yeah.
3 years now.
Really?
And she's been on. She's been extras in movies here already since we've been here. And,
Atlanta, what is the
yeah, oh yeah,
place?
that's why we came. Yeah, because they're so creative. My middle daughter, Mariah, she's a writer, and she's also she's a rapper. Monet also sings, so I sing, write, everything. So we are a whole, just talented. So I knew that Atlanta was where, we should go and just explore and get our talents out there.
That is so amazing. So your other daughters too.
Yes.
They are creative, and
yeah.
you guys are doing this as a family.
Yes.
I just love seeing this with
you.
Mom working with the kids. Are you like a momager?
Yes.
You
I
are.
try- yeah.
Okay, and you're doing your own thing as well.
Yes. Yeah. I have a book coming out. It's called Everything You Want Is on the Other Side of Fear. So that's my story of when I was younger, and just how fear can paralyze you, how it can just stop you in your tracks, even if you're procrastinating, even if it's all fear. It's all just a fruit of it.
Procrastination equals failure. I know this I know this to be true. And you can miss out on so
Yes.
much because you're like, I'm afraid to do it. I don't know what people are going to say. What are they going to think,
And you just think about it, and you just get older.
Right. And then before you know it, you're like, forget it. I'm going to give it a shot anyway.
Yeah.
So with you watching your mother being brave as she is, you knew that you couldn't have any fear about writing this book, right?
Yeah,
So she's
definitely.
taught you how to be brave.
Yes.
Now I asked the other lady that was on the show with her mom. She was a little bit older than you. She has children and such. And her mom was a little older. But I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked the older daughter. What is the best thing that your mom has taught you as of today? I know you still got some more learning to do.
Yeah.
So, but as of that, you can remember right now, what is the best thing she's giving you that stands out so much so that you never forget as you take it with you all the time?
To just believe in myself, because if you don't believe in yourself, then it'll show, and other people won't believe in you. So
Yeah, they
you
won't
definitely, you definitely have to believe in yourself. And like she said, fear can really just stop you. She's always been because when we were making the book, it took a process. It was a long process because my father passed away. And so I was in a really state where I didn't want to create anything, and I was very slow, but she was like, you got to keep going. And that's what we created. And I'm honestly really proud that we did push through and create it, because it's going to be amazing.
And he's proud of you right now.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I know that he's looking down and saying, my baby girl did this. So you keep up the good work, because I know that there's so much more out there in the world that you want to do.
Yes.
And I'm excited about you applying for the college.
Yes.
And I know that you'll get accepted.
Thank you.
you have a lot. You're going to have some peers and they're going to be like, you passed us already. You got a book already, a website, and, you're making money off your stuff already. So you're already ahead of the game.
Yeah.
So don't even let, how they feel about that
Yeah.
intimidate you. Just know you're walking in your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You're staying in your own lane.
Yes.
And you're doing what God has set for you and your
Yes.
journey and your path.
Yeah.
So just know that. So Mother, you mentioned something about fashion show.
Yes.
Are you walking in the fashion show? Are you?
No. We had the youth. It was a youth fashion show and also
Oh.
networking event. So we had youth vendors.
Okay.
And but no, the youth, they modeled Monet's clothing, which it's not really a clothing line,
But it's more
but
like a
it's just
t-shirt.
her merch.
Yeah.
Her merchandise
Merchandise to
that
go
she
along
had.
with the book.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have mugs and things like that?
Yeah, on the website.
Yes,
yeah.
on the website.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check it
Backpacks and
out.
things. Oh yes.
Okay, so do you guys ever do anything for back to school for?
We haven't.
kids?
We have not yet. We've just actually been online on Shopify with her merch, but we haven't brought it offline yet.
Yeah.
So we
Okay.
need to. Yes.
Well,
And-
make sure that you guys. I'm sorry, Mom. What were you gonna say?
No, I was saying, and it's other characters too that Monet draws, and
Yeah.
Oh,
she
so
just
what are-
draws every day.
So what are some of your other characters?
I can't think about it because there's so many of them. I have a lot of them off the top of my because I just create all the time.
She's been drawing.
But yeah, I do have a lot. But these are like the main ones because they are the book. They're. But I have like a couple of others. I have like Prism, Oxy. There's a lot of them. So yeah.
So what if someone wanted to use you for your like say your characters, like and they want to use it for their book? Would you sell one of your characters?
I don't think so, unless I made a new one for them. But the ones we already have, I don't think I would sell.
So
Yeah.
you would help them create.
Yes, definitely.
So what is that? They call that freelancer?
Probably like commission. They commissioned me to make a character for them. For their, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
See, I'm already out here
Yeah.
trying to put your business out there so I can get you some because there are a lot of people a lot of writers that watch the show and a lot of authors that watch the show because they would love to get their product and things out there. So you just never know who's watching and would love to utilize your services and get you to draw them
Yeah.
a character.
You're an illustrator too.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
illustrator.
so book
So
illustrator.
this would be when you create these characters. This is illustration.
Yes. Yes.
Why do I keep saying animation?
Well, animation is the TV. Yes.
Yeah,
When
when
they're
they-
moving.
when they
yes.
move.
That's the next
Illustration.
step. So you're just
Okay,
speaking it
so I'm
into
speaking-
existence.
Yeah.
I'm ahead of myself because this is
That's
what I
okay.
see.
Speak it.
Okay, so if I wanted to have you illustrate something for me, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Then that would be what this looked like.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and then animation are the people that move and talk.
Yes.
Okay, got you. Okay, that makes sense. So tell everybody where they can find you on their on social media platform.
Go
You
ahead.
can- on Instagram, you can find us at Animation Creations. I think also on Facebook.
On Facebook
Yeah,
as well.
Facebook.
ANIMO Nation
Creations, yes.
Well, all right, guys. It's been a wonderful, wonderful morning. I didn't get a chance to in the beginning, as I always do, give you guys the news. But I'm going to say this. The love between a mother and a daughter is forever. So if you have a daughter, just know that the love is forever. I'm going to do a little bit of the news and then celebrity news today. Celebrity birthdays, we have Robert De Niro, he's 79.
Oh, happy
And Sean Penn is 64.
All right. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday. And if August the 17th is your birthday, you possess an enormous spiritual power. We were just talking about powers.
Yes.
Okay. You're highly focused and will follow your path. Are either one of you Leos?
Yes, I am.
See, they already following
Yes,
their path.
Leo.
When is your birthday?
July 23rd.
Okay, so you're the July.
beginning, yes.
July one. Okay, great. So I'm going to keep going. You guys are just going to have to sit here with me until I finish my episode here.
Okay, fine.
And thank you for sitting with me. I'm sorry that everything is backwards.
Oh, you're welcome.
Just never know around here. And in celebrity news, the jury is to hear the opening statements today for Robert Kelly in the Chicago trial. Everybody know that R. Kelly is now a convicted sex offender, and he is standing trial, his second trial in Chicago for the same thing, which is double jeopardy. So, love to see how that appeal is going to go. I pray for him and all of the alleged victims that are claiming that these things are happening. And R. Kelly denies that Jocelyn Savage is pregnant. And we knew that because I didn't think the feds give conjugal visits. And a woman claims that an attorney offered her $200,000 to make, what is that guy's name? Oh, God. I can't remember. It went blank. Trey Songz.
Okay.
Yeah. So a woman claims that an attorney offered her $200,000 to make Trey Songz the next R. Kelly.
Oh, wow.
So they want to put him in that same predicament that they have put him in. So it's amazing how we're destroying the black culture of music and actors on Me Too movement and He Said, She Said, and all of that stuff. And Swiss Beats and Timberland created a popular rap battle show in which now they are having to sue Triller for $28 million for the online streaming company failing to pay up.
No.
They're not going to pay them their money. It's a lot of money, $28 million.
Yes.
If I just had $1 million, I'll be okay. And Ellen DeGeneres loses her new show has been canceled from Warner Brothers. And I'm not sure why. They didn't tell me why. And in AJC news, the FBI news, 28 teenagers are rescued in Georgia in the National Sex Trafficking Operation. I'm glad to see that they're working on that. This sex trafficking thing has really gotten out of hand. And watch yourself.
Yeah.
Stranger danger is what I told my granddaughter.
Yeah.
If you don't know people, do not. Just don't shake nobody's hand, give them dap, don't get close to them, nothing. Unless your mama is with you or your uncle or somebody. The flight attendant who was fired by Delta Airlines is claiming racial discrimination. And the man found shot to death in the middle of a Southeast Atlanta road is recovering. And also in the news, a 19-year-old was killed, 2 other teens injured in a Cobb County crash. Atlanta and Cobb crews recover body from Chattahoochee River, and witnesses shoot suspect after following him home from a deadly stabbing. And Clayton County Animal Shelter calls for emergency adoptions, rescue to save the dogs. I don't like animals. You have animals?
Yeah, I have a dog and a cat.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel so bad. My son has a dog, and I won't even go by his house.
Oh, my goodness.
No. And one person injured after a car crashes through a window of a Riverdale restaurant. And that may be all. Oh, no, we have a little health news, just a little bit. And in health news, the polio virus is detected in wastewater samples in the New York City. And the first case of human-to-dog monkeypox transmission has happened. And First Lady Jill Biden has tested positive yesterday for COVID-19 and is experiencing mild symptoms. And cheaper over-the-counter is you'll be able to buy hearing aids over-the-counter in October. So there you have it, folks. That was all the news, celebrity news. Happy birthday to you from us here at Clark TV Network and 108 Praise. We will see you in the morning, and we want to say to all the mothers who take care of their daughters and make sure that they're walking down the right path. We salute you this morning. And good mothers are definitely hard to find. And have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the morning.